Hey guys, it's Hypersugar, and these are red blood cells. And this is the only Vladimir guide you'll ever need. Now, to play a vampire and to truly master Vladimir, you need to become a vampire. You need to be the vampire. So my advice is you go watch all of the Twilight movies.
He's not a fucking vampire!
You're serious? He's not a vampire?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he's a hemomancer or whatever. Damn, that means I watched all the Twilight movies for nothing? I suffered through them for nothing? You could say that really sucks. Passive, Crimson Pact. Now Vladimir basically gets ability power for all the health he has and health for all the amount of ability power he has. This also does not stack with itself because that would be pretty damn broken. Q, Transfusion. Vladimir drains the life force from an enemy, dealing damage and healing himself. Now when he gets 2 costs of Transfusion, Vladimir becomes blood addicted and gets movement speed and empowers his next transfusion to do more damage and heal more. You're really saying that he's not a vampire. He literally... oh, never mind. W, Pool of Blood. Vladimir sinks into a pool of blood, becoming untargetable, dealing damage and slowing the enemies he's under and also healing a bit for the amount of the damage dealt. E, Blood Explosion. Vladimir charges a reservoir of blood, preparing to unleash the blood. Upon release of the E button, he deals damage in an area to all first targets hit, and if he channels for longer than 1 second, he also slows enemies with the explosion. R, Emo Plague. Vladimir infects all enemies in the target area with Twilight Breaking Down Part 2, making them take increased damage from all sources by 10% for 4 seconds. And like that was not enough, they also take some magic damage after those 4 seconds, while Vladimir heals himself for every target hit. Did you know you can kill a vampire by slamming a wooden stake through their heart? Did you know that also works with normal people? To survive laning phase with Vlad, all you have to do is exist. That's it. You farm, you heal, and you escape nasty situations with your W. Use your E and Q wisely to trade and farm, and use your empowered Q to harass your opponents while also healing a good amount of health. Now at level 6 you can eventually try to all-in your opponent with an ult E empowered Q eventual ignite combo. But even though Vladimir's laning phase isn't the worst, he still shines more in teamfights, so that's where you should be focusing on, getting that mid-game teamfight power spike. Vladimir was released on July 27, 2010. The exact date in 1890 when famous painter Vincent van Gogh shot himself. He died 30 hours later. But this is not where the link stops. One of Van Gogh's works was a skull with a burning cigarette, made in 1885. This work is considered a memento mori. It's a reminder that you eventually have to die. Now this theme was often used in clocks to show that time flies. Now some of these clocks had an automata strike the hour. An automata or automaton is a self-operating machine, sometimes designed to create the illusion of a self-operating being. Bastion from Overwatch is a self-operating being. He's self-controlled mechanical robot. In Overwatch, there is a map with the name King's Row, which is a futuristic version of London. Actor Robert Pattinson was born on May 13th, 1986. In London. His breakthrough as an actor was with the role of Edward Cullen from the Twilight series, which is a vampire, just like Vladimir.
But he's a hemomancer.
Fuck it, that's it, I'm done. I'm so done. I'm done making these fucking stupid jokes. I can't even come up with some serious shit. I'm over it. This is the end of the fucking video. In teamfights, Vladimir's main and only objective is to do as much damage as possible while staying alive for as long as possible. Your ultimate is an extremely powerful ability when landed on multiple targets, since it will increase your entire team's damage. Now as a battle mage, you try to chunk the enemy carries while staying alive as long as possible with Sanguine Pool and all your healing. Even though Vladimir is kinda tanky, he's still no real tank and can be bursted down. So watch out for champions that can lock you down to prevent you from healing. I'm looking at you, Malzahar. Usually when Vladimir had a good teamfight, it should look something like this. And if you're wondering, that's what happens when a horse has a nosebleed. Now before I leave you guys, here are some tips and tricks. Tip number 1. You are able to cast your ult and flash during your E channeling. This is great to surprise enemies. Tip number 2. You can use summoner spells and items during your sanguine pool. Tip number 3. Quickly activating E helps a lot with last hitting minions, especially under tower. Tip number 4. You will still get the healing from your ultimate while in Zhonya's or Blood Pool. Tip number 5. Playing as Bloodlord Vladimir increases your damage. Now you know everything you need to know to drain the enemy team with Vladimir, the Crimson Reaper. Let me know what champion you want to see next and what you thought about the video in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing for more content. You can also follow me on Twitter and join our Discord, the links will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.
The rivers will run.